Welcome to day 19 of our January video challenge. I have a few projects that I would like to work on today to get some smaller furniture pieces into the booth. I've had these 3 pieces for a while now. This one, as you can see, is practically all the way finished. I got 1 coat of paint on it, and then I ended up accidentally dropping the drawer, and I needed to do a small repair on it, and I never finished up the 2nd coat of paint on it. So what we're going to start with today is getting some of the coal black from Fusion Mineral Paint onto this piece for its 2nd coat so that I can then move on to the 2 other pieces that need work. So it took me a little less than 30 minutes to get a 2nd coat on this side table. However, I realized while I was painting it that I don't think this is coal black. I think this is Fusion Mineral Paint's other color, which is called cast iron. It's a warmer black tone, and I really like that one as well. And when I was painting it, I'm like, this shade seems a little off. So I'm pretty sure I painted this with cast iron originally. But that's fine. When I went over it with the coal black, it covered everything and you're not going to be able to tell. Also, I don't know if y'all can tell from this video, but I used practically nothing for this. It is still right here in this container, so I'm gonna have a lot more projects to get out of this pipe. Now that we've got this one covered, I'm gonna go ahead and move it to let it cure and bring in the next piece. This is the coffee table that matches that side table, and it's a bit of the same story. I had it completely prepped. I started painting on it, and as you can see, I did not get all the way done painting it. What we're gonna do is go ahead and paint this the coal black. That way it matches the side table, and I'm gonna start with the side I did not get painted first to give it time to dry, and then move on to the parts that I did already get paint on. Now this side is not completely dry yet. However, you can definitely tell the difference between the 2 blacks from Fusion. This one is the coal black. It's a much truer, deeper black. And then this one is the cast iron, which is a muted, warm black. And I love both of these colors. This one is also done, so I'm gonna set it aside to let it dry and cure, and then we're gonna work on our last piece for the evening. I've had this piece for a while. I picked it up on the side of the road. It was a little beat up, the wood was stained on it, and so I decided to paint it. I painted it this really pretty, almost a peachy pink color. It's very light. I thought it was adorable. It would be super cute in a little girl's room, and it just sat and sat and sat and never sold. So I think it's time to go ahead and give this a little bit of an update. Now I went on my Instagram and I also asked y'all here on the community page what color you thought I should paint this piece, and it was by far Bayberry Green. So we're going to go ahead, get these handles off, maybe sand it down just a little bit, and then put our green on top of that. I just finished the first coat on the side table. I forgot how tedious this piece was to paint. All of the detail in the legs, the bracing in the bottom, all of it just took a little bit of time. This is one I probably should have gone ahead and set up my paint sprayer for. However, I don't have room for the tent in the basement where I'm working right now, and it's too cold to paint outside, so I was stuck to painting with a brush. And of course, it probably would have gone even faster had I not had just that 1-inch little chip brush. But I took all of my painting stuff over to Grit and Grace when I was painting the blue cabinet. So all of my small rollers and my brushes are at Grit and Grace still. This needs to dry for a little bit, so we're gonna take a break and then we'll be back to paint the second coat. One thing I always struggle with when I have furniture pieces this size is knowing how much to price them for. I see nightstands that are usually fairly expensive, and I sold a Queen's Anne set similar to the side table and coffee table that I have. I think it was last year or the year before, and I had 90 for both pieces, and someone misunderstood and thought it was 90 for just the side table piece, and they were willing to pay that even though I did correct them, and I ended up being able to split up both of them and sell them separately. So I'll probably price that set individually even though they do go together, but I'm not quite sure at what price points to put them at. I mean, obviously I was able to sell one nightstand or side table piece at $90, but that doesn't mean I'll be able to do it again. And the market here is just a little bit weird. Tennessee is one of those states that's really cheap to live in, and because of that, incomes tend to be a little bit lower, items are priced lower, and it's hard for me sometimes to be able to put price tags on these pieces of furniture that reflect what other creators can put on their pieces of furniture, simply because my market won't pay for it. And I don't want to undersell or undercut the amount of work that I put into things, because it does take me a long time to paint and repair and sand furniture pieces. And I want to make sure that it's worth my time that I'm putting into it. So I don't know if I need to just go ahead and price myself where I need to be and let it sit and hope that people are willing to do that, or try and be reasonable with my pricing and maybe not pay myself as much on furniture pieces. I'd definitely be interested to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I know that I can usually sell like a long dresser for $300, $350, $400, and I am very bad at underpricing myself on other things. I'm trying to be much better about maintaining a higher price on some of my furniture pieces, but I'm just not quite sure where that price point is at. And I'd be curious to know what it is in your area, what you see something similar to these side tables and this coffee table go for. That way, maybe I have an idea of what price I should throw on these when I put them in the booth. I was able to get the second coat on the bayberry table, and now we've got all 3 pieces finished. I do want to make sure that they can dry for an extended period of time, and I will probably double check them tomorrow. I might touch up, I might do some wet sanding to smooth out the surfaces. And on this piece, I might actually flip it over so that I can paint some on the underside of it. Normally I don't do that, but I felt like there were places on this one with the detail on the legs that I just wasn't able to quite reach. And I want to make sure that I'm putting out a quality piece in my booth. Other things that I would like to do tomorrow, I have to put a top on that mantle since it's already sold and someone is coming this week to pick it up. So I'm going to work on that in the morning. And then I have the option of either working on the two larger pieces of furniture I have to go into the booth space, or going sourcing tomorrow. And I'm kind of leaning towards that. I'm really thinking about just sourcing for myself tomorrow because I'm really in the mood to decorate my own home. I still have Christmas up right now, and while I've really enjoyed it, I have wanted to do a kind of berry spring theme in the house, and I don't have quite enough items. So I'm thinking about going out and doing a thrift with me and decorate with me and seeing what we can find. Let me know what y'all think I should do, if you think I should focus on furniture tomorrow, or if you think I should go do the fun thing. As always, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me today. I cannot wait to see you in the next one.